Okay, here we are. Another exciting week. Yeah, so again, I haven't dropped down to my medications in a few weeks, so again, I don't fully, I guess, know. I'm going to keep making these videos because ultimately the goal is I made this video set with the intent of documenting the process of going off of psychiatric meds. So I'll stick with it, even though there's this period here where I'm not dropping them down. So the last week was all right. You know, I feel like when I've made these videos, I've kind of reported being down or somewhat depressed or something. Maybe because you're catching me on Friday mornings and like the weekends, I get like some anxiety on Fridays about the upcoming weekend because I generally don't make plans and stuff, and I just kind of wing everything and kind of get caught up focusing on work and sort of wrapped up in that all week. And so then like Friday comes and I'm like, shit, like I didn't get enough work done and make enough money. Now the weekend's here. Should I find something fun to do? Should I work? And I guess there's a little bit of a fear of me of like ending up kind of manic-y psychosis on a video. I've made some videos like that in my life. I definitely never released them to the public. But also, I don't know if I've kind of expressed being down or somewhat depressed or even a little angry. Like I found myself getting like fucking angry this week a little. There's a part of me that's like, damn, like, have I evolved? Like, as I've, like, gone off of drugs, like, I don't smoke weed, I don't drink, weaning off meds. Am I just going to turn into, like, one of those, like, stereotypical bipolar people that's kind of, like, down or they're kind of an asshole and pissed off and agitated? Because I do get a little agitated. And, like, fuck, this week I got so pissed. Wednesday night, I was going up to Boston for this event where Google was putting on a thing talking about education technology products they're doing. And I was like literally walking out of the house and I saw my old man and he made some remark about the way I was dressed and the way my hair was cut. And I'm like, dude, like I'm fucking leaving right now. You know, like I just, like there's this fucking like irk about appearance and having to dress a certain way and act and look a certain way that I just like fucking reject to the ultimate. Plus, like, I'm on my way out. It ain't like I'm gonna fucking get a haircut and dress differently, like, as I'm walking out the door, so I'm just gonna be self-conscious now. And then to boot, I gotta stand up in front of a room full of people and introduce myself as the guy who's trying to help kids get out of school and get a real life and education. Like, shit, like, it's bad enough. I gotta be the one guy in a room full of educators whose ambition is to help kids get out of school. Like, that's hard enough. So then, like, I walked out the door with that and, like, just kind of, like, this kind of fucking feeling. And then I got in the car and I was driving and I noticed, I think the battery might be dying. I noticed on the Mass Pike there were no more tolls, but there was, like, these cameras. And I was like, these motherfuckers, are they, I assume they're going to mail me the toll in the mail. Okay. But are they going to use these cameras to pick up the fact that I'm speeding? Are they like, and so I'm like driving there and I'm like, fuck, like the system is like trapping me with goddamn cameras that I'm going to end up having to pay a fucking $300 speeding ticket to go to this event. It cost me $25 to go to. And then I got up there and I was driving around trying to find parking. And again, like, I absolutely hate being in the city and driving there, especially finding parking. There's just like, I just am like crammed in. I can't even just stop to take like a breather or to look at a map, or to focus. Like, I'm just stuck in traffic. I'm not supposed to be really looking at a map or anything. I'm just like, So I did that, and then I went to the event. And yeah, like, I'm talking to people. Like, I don't even know how to really introduce myself as, like, yeah, like, my goal is to, like, help kids get out of school, or to take over the school. So, trouble kind of talking to people there, and then I was going to stay with a friend after, so I drove, and he moved to a new part of Boston, and there was nowhere to park. And then I was like, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm not even going to stay over. I'll just, you know, like, you couldn't park overnight anywhere. So just fuck it. Like, I'll just stay here for a couple hours, hang out, and then I'll just drive back to Connecticut late. So again, it's like, and then I get back at the Mass Pike, and it fucking cameras again. So yeah, I had that Wednesday. But it's not all bad. Today, I'm actually releasing a website that I set up called the Peer Unschooling Network, which is the first thing that I've made for, oh geez, the sunlight. First thing that I've made for unschoolers. And the idea is to connect all the existing unschoolers in like a chat platform where they can chat, message, talk about things that interest them. and ideally get 50,000 unschooled teens on this platform, and then create a culture of unschooling, and then maybe start letting other teens join in and learn about unschooling and find ways that they can get out of the system or take over the schools that they already have. So yeah, I believe it. I had a great quote I read this week, which was something like, extremism in the name of liberty is not a vice, and moderation in the name of justice is not a virtue. It's a good quote. But anyways, yeah, like I'm kind of excited today to like release this thing. But yeah, it's good to be optimistic. You're catching me before I release it, so there's this graph that talks about like releasing a product where you have the enthusiasm and excitement, and then afterwards the trough of sorrow, and then there's like some wiggle of adaptment and then enlightenment, and it takes off. All right, let's release this thing. Bye.